the doctor, had him put your spell on me. We danced around the fire from dusk until the dawn. Said I'd die sure as hell on the day that you were gone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, today I'm checking out my ultimate Ruger 1022 with the custom KIDD setup. Now, for those of you who don't know much about the 1022, look, there's multiple reviews and information out there, but this review is going to specifically target the KIDD custom parts that I've put into my own 1022 to make it, in my own view, the ultimate 1022 that you can get. Now, KIDD Custom or KIDD Innovative Design, they're over in Texas in the States, and they make a whole range of custom parts for your Ruger 1022. Everything from replacement receivers, bolts, triggers, barrels, charging handles, cocking assemblies, that sort of thing. They make the lot, and their precision and their attention to detail really, I think, is second to none. So anyhow, let me show you a little bit more around the 1022 here. So obviously this is a rifle here. So it is a semi-automatic 22 rimfire rifle. So here in Australia it is category C, okay? So it is restricted obviously to primary producers, occupational shooters, collectors and anybody else that can have category C. Okay, so I'll run through a few features of it first of all. Okay, starting off with the stock. The stock that I've put on here is a Macmillan fiberglass stock. So very, very lightweight, but as most of you know, Macmillan makes some really high-end stuff. So this stock was about $500 just for the stock, so yeah, very expensive. At the back here you've got just a rubber kick pad, not that you need it for 22, but it's just a nice comfortable fit. You've got the rear sling attachment there. Got a nice cheek piece, really that's both left and right sided, so ambidextrous, so that's fine. You've got at the front here the other sling or swivel attachment, and just some nice checkered grips here for your hands when you're shooting the rifle. The actual trigger on it is a KIDD custom single stage trigger. Now I got that from KIDD set at 2 pounds, so it goes off fairly lightly. There's no creep in it, just absolutely beautiful. I've got the extended magazine release here. Okay, most of the time the Rugers, I think nowadays anyway, a lot of them come with the extended ones as standard, but the older one I had didn't, so that was a nice added feature. The 10 round rotary magazine, that's just standard Ruger mag. I mean, these are just time tested, aren't they? Over years and years, they've just been so reliable in a whole heap of Ruger rifles, from the 77-22 to the 96-22 and obviously the 10-22 and Ruger Chargers and so forth, so they've definitely proved themselves. The bolt in it is a KIDD custom bolt as well, so that's got the KIDD custom extractor, the titanium firing pin. There's also a little bolt that goes, or a little pin that goes over the top of the firing pin in the KIDD bolt, and that actually stops any sort of jump of the firing pin when you're shooting the rifle. On the original Ruger 1022 bolt, they don't have any securing pin over the top. So what can actually happen is when the pin hits the cartridge, it can move, it can jump. Okay, so this will prevent that. So a lot of thought's gone into it. It's even cut out for when you're putting your charging handle on top. It's even cut out at an angle so that you can easily slot that in, where the original Ruger one, any of you know what that was like. It was fairly difficult to get in at times. The receiver on this is just the original Ruger 1022 receiver. The Picatinny rail at the top here is a KIDD custom rail. I've got loophole mounts and the Trigicon 3 to 9 by 40 self-illuminating or illuminated reticle. Just an awesome scope this, because it's just so lightweight and it just goes with this rifle overall. Now the barrel on it, as you can see, is KIDD custom as well. Now it's 16.5 inches in length, and then I've got a muzzle brake or KIDD compensator on the end there that adds about another 2 inches, I'd say. Okay, so what else can I tell you about this? If any of you who have got a Ruger Charger or even a Ruger 1022 will know that when you put the bolt to the rear, you've got the catch at the bottom here to hold the bolt open. Okay, to release it, normally with the Ruger as standard, you've got to actually pull it back, release the button, and then slide the bolt forward. Well, the KIDD has got the auto bolt release in it, so no, it doesn't mean that it's full auto or anything like that. It just means that you can release the bolt without having to hit the release button at the bottom. So that's perfect. When you're out in the field, you know, it's just great. You just pull back like so, and you can hear it click, then just release forward and it's ready to go. And as you can see, obviously I've got no ammunition anywhere near the rifle, so we're all clear there. So just have a listen to this trigger. Look at that, just so crisp, it's just unreal. So I was really happy once I got everything installed with this. Very excited to actually get out and use it. So what I'm going to be doing later today, guys, is I've actually got a contract to do. So I've never actually fired this rifle with the KIDD custom parts in it. So I want to get out and I'm going to film the sighting in process for you guys, and we'll just see how the actual rifle you know, shoots in general. But overall, look, everything's pretty much KIDD on it. The only thing that's not is the actual charging handle here. As you can see, if I hold it up, it is fairly oversized, and that's just a Power Custom oversized charging handle. The actual rod inside and the spring is a KIDD custom spring, so it's only the handle that I really preferred from Power Custom because it was just oversized. So especially if you're using the rifle out in the cold, you know, in the winter months, I mean, you know, it's nice to be able to have gloves on and still be able to get a hold of that charging handle and just pull it back and, you know, do reloads and so forth. So look, overall, the 1022, guys, is hands down my favourite rifle. I mean, I just love it. I've had one of these since I was a kid, and unfortunately, yeah, I was one of the victims of 96 in regards to having to hand my 1022 in, and you know, it just left a void in me, and you know, after all these years I've got one back again. But you know, they're just a great rifle, and it really amazes me why these were taken from us in the first place, because there's just so many practical applications for it on the farm, you know, pest control and things like that. They're just a sensational rifle. So look, what I'll do is no more sort of talking about it, guys. Let's get out on the farm. I'll sight this in before I go out and do the pest control, and we'll just see how this performs. Okay guys, we've got the 1022 here, and I've got a target out there at 50 yards. I'm going to sight it in there for the purpose of doing pest control tonight. So before I go out and do pest control, I want to make sure that everything's working and I've got no problems with the 1022. So I've got everything on there as you saw in the intro. I'm actually using the BX25 magazine that's limited to 10 rounds only. Now the reason I've done that, because you're probably thinking, why the hell limit it to 10 rounds, and if so, why not just use the original Ruger magazine? Well, two things. Number one is I limit it to 10 rounds so that I keep the 1022 here as category C, because obviously if it's over 10 rounds it becomes category D. Also too, I actually like the extended grip of the BX25, so even though it's only 10 rounds, when I'm actually out in the field I can do a quick mag change, and I've got something to grip, especially in the darkness too, so it's just a little bit less fiddling around, I find. So that's why I enjoy having these mags limited to 10 rounds, because they're just better for my purpose anyway. Alright guys, so I'm just going to use SK High Velocity. Obviously it's a high velocity 40 grain hollow point, and that's perfect for doing pest control. I'm not going to shoot any target ammo because that's obviously not my purpose. So I've got 10 rounds of that. I'll take a couple of shots, make sure it's sighted in there at 50, and then I'll get out and do some pest control for the night. Okay guys, so as you can see from the last group there, I mean, I'm more than happy with the group, but we're still shooting off to the right there a bit. So I've just moved it over just a click to the left, and we'll take another 10 shots and see if we can get dead center. Okay, so taking a look at the target the second time round, you can see there, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it, guys, with the wind blowing the way it is. I mean, but look at that, I just put my thumbnail there and it covers it. So really, I mean, let's be honest, can you really ask for much more out of a 22, especially a semi-auto 10 shot at 50 yards like that? So I'm pretty impressed with it. So it's all sighted in, so I'm pretty happy with that now. Alright guys, I got 10 rounds in the BX25 here. What I'm going to do is just do a rapid fire test and just show you how reliable the 1022 action is. I mean, obviously I've got the KIDD custom parts in it, so I'm not expecting any screw ups or malfunctions at all, but we'll give it a test and just make sure everything's aligned and it's all working. We're clear. So as you can see, absolutely brilliant, very, very reliable. Alright, so my final thoughts, guys, on the Ruger 1022 with the KIDD setup. I mean, I've been a big time fan of the 1022 for many years now. I mean, it's just a great, reliable firearm, and I don't know, I guess it's the most popular semi-auto 22 you can get on the planet. And there's a good reason for that, because it is reliable, and the amount of modifications and just aftermarket parts and accessories for this thing is absolutely unbelievable. If you do get a 1022, so if you're a primary producer or collector, you know, feral pest controller, or anybody else who can have Cat C here in Australia, be prepared to start spending money, because it's just so addictive tricking it out with all the different parts like I've done. So anyhow, I just love it. I just think it's a great rifle, and it's definitely got its purpose on the farm for, you know, culling feral pests. Alright guys, well look, I'll wrap it up. I'll put a link to KIDD's website underneath this review, so you can have a look at the parts and accessories that they have. There's various different manufacturers or importers here in Australia now that import custom 1022 parts. So just have a look around, there's just so many options to choose from. But the purpose of this review was just to show you the 1022 up close and personal, and also fitted out with some custom gear. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I got to go and do some work for the afternoon and the evening, so I'll catch you next time.